Good morning. As you can see, I am back in the forest again, preparing for another hike. It is my birthday, and I found the best way to celebrate birthdays is to do what you love. And today is going to be no exception. I am going to be putting myself through hell. I know that. If anybody noticed what I posted last weekend about the trail to Lake of the Angels, and I said maybe, hopefully someday I get to do it, well, guess what? That day is today. The weather is absolutely perfect, and I have to take full advantage of it. It's definitely a little foggy right now, but that will burn off by the time I get up top. So it is now just about 7:30 in the morning, so I got plenty of time, plenty of daylight. I'm going to take my time and enjoy myself, but I'm going to try to document this hike as much as I can so that you get an idea what I'm going to be going through. And this is going to be quite a hike with elevation gain. There's going to be some climbing. It's going to be strenuous. I'm going to feel it afterwards, I know that, but this is going to be worth it at the top. I know that for sure. So I'm going to take it slow and steady, and I'm going to get there just like I do any other hike. This is definitely the highest and longest hike that I've ever done like this, so it's going to be a challenge, but I know I'm up to it. This trail is definitely narrower than what I've been doing recently, and definitely more rugged. A lot of rocks. But very lush, very green. You can hear some water going down there. Can't see it, but I can hear it. A brief, very brief side little trail here. Took me to the gravesite of Putvin, the guy that this trail is named after. There's a picture with him and I'm assuming his wife. As you can see, it's pretty beat up. I know from my research there used to be a sign here kind of explaining what happened, his birth date, his death date, and I think that is what the sign used to be on. And so this place is definitely a little rough, and I'm assuming that's the grave there. A little cabin, but Putvin, from what I read, was a homesteader in this area, and he left his homestead, which is further up the mountains, somewhere up that way, and came down and died from exposure. And when his family found him, they just buried him right where they found him, which would have been right here. So it really is a shame that this place used to be marked and now it's not. So hopefully at some point they fix this up so that people can read the story and know what the history of the area and pay their respects. Continuing my way up the trail, I'm starting to see some excellent views through the trees as I get higher. The trail is rough, that is for sure. You see I'm on the side of a hill right here, and this is the trail continuing to go up. Whew, I'm in for a bruising. Alright, I'm continuing to make slow and steady progress. I'm still feeling pretty good. Sweat's definitely going and the sun's coming out more and more. But it's been a great hike so far, and now I found myself on what looks to be an old road, so things are a little easier. The trail was definitely rough in some places. Very rocky, a lot of loose shale. So this is a nice welcome change. So I figured since this is a little bit easier, I'd show you my progress. Oh, here's a sign. Lake of the Angels, 2.0 miles. Oh, looks like my little break is over. The climb will continue. Since crossing over into the wilderness section of the hike, the trail has definitely gotten rougher. It's pretty much a scramble right up this hill. So, it's kicking my ass, I know it would, but I'd definitely be making better time if I wasn't contending with sections like this. And it is basically no switchbacks, it is just straight up this hillside. So, continuing on, slow and steady. Slow and steady progress continues. And I just entered this beautiful mountain meadow. See if I can get a little shot of that, a little further up the trail. But as you can see, the tree line is in sight. So that's a sign I'm making progress, but not really much of a trail right here. You can just barely tell where it is, and that's it. And up to this point, I've only seen one other person on this trail so far, so I have had this all to myself. I can only imagine what I'm going to see when I'm up there, because as you can see, it is a totally clear day. I challenge you to find a better view than that I'm seeing right now. Whew. I can tell you what, I'm working my tail off getting there. Still got to go up that. And normally, I'm cursing roots. But in this case, roots got me up here. So, just for today, I'm happy that there are roots. Have one more scramble up the rocks, and somebody was nice enough to have a rope here, so I'm going to use that to get up, and I'm going to put my camera in my backpack for now just to keep it safe. I am working for these views today, that's for sure. Alright, so I got off up top through the ropes. I had a seat for a few minutes and had a protein bar, so I think I'm fueled up for the last little push here. But it is absolutely gorgeous up here. But I did want to show you one thing that jumped out at me just now. Hopefully you can see it. That's Mount Rainier. Even in the middle of the Olympics, I can see Rainier this far away. In the home stretch now, I came across the Lake of the False Prophet, or the Pond of the False Prophet, depending on what you're reading online. But apparently a lot of people got fooled into thinking that this was the Lake of the Angels. But you just gotta go a little bit further. But it's so beautiful. The end is in sight. So everything I read online said that once you reached the pond of the false prophet, it was just another easy half-mile push to get to the Lake of the Angels, but I can tell you that that was not the case. And now I know that I'm approaching the Lake of the Angels at last, and I wanted to make sure that I filmed my final approach. It is beautiful up here. It literally is like paradise. I knew I was getting close whenever I came across this mountain stream. Still some snow up here, melting, which is good because there's not a lot of snow left in the Olympics, and that's a little worrisome. I could tell you that this has been a grueling hike for me. Had a little bit of everything. Elevation, roots, scrambling, climbing, mud pots, water crossings. Welcome to the Lake of the Angels. Thank you for having me. You can see it is totally surrounded. By the rugged peaks of the high Olympics. Eventually I'll work my way down. He passed me on the way up. I think we'll go over this way. Been a long time coming getting to this lake. Not just a hike, but it's been on my to-do list for a long time, and really thought that it was probably out of reach. But you know what? I pushed myself. I prepared myself to make the trek here today. And I did it. I was not going to be denied. So I am very proud of myself. I'm going to take it in here for a little bit, kind of recover, because I do have one hell of a hike back down. And it's 12:30 now, so I still got plenty of time. Absolutely stunning. And you can come all the way up here on that trail, you earned it. And I definitely did.